trying to recreate a classic is always going to be hard because they're classics. That's why they're called classics. Even more so when they're modern classics because you can still remember them. This, the Ricoh GR, APS-C censored one. Really quite excited about this, causing a stir in the loins. But is this a good recreation of a modern classic? In terms of the specifications, it's got, as I said, an APS-C size sensor. Not full frame, unfortunately, so this isn't a real 28mm lens, it's just an equivalent. But that's all good, isn't it? At least you've got a semi-decent sized sensor in this, which looks pretty much the same as the classic GR. I suppose you could say this goes a little bit better than just an APS-C size sensor, because this doesn't have an AA filter with maximum sharpness. Everybody's doing it these days. Anyway, on that little, well not little, it's kind of reasonably sized APS-C size sensor, it's got 16.2 megapixels, which is alright, isn't it? It's alright. The feel of it is really quite similar to the GR1 series, GR21 Dido's camera. And I don't mean Eminem's friend.
The focus is nice and quick. It doesn't seem to be laggy at all. Half press and the GR squeezes one out like your camera's had plenty of digital roughage.
And not only that, not only this an APS-C sensor recreation, it's also the cheapest APS-C censored compact around. Cheaper than that crappy Nikon A, cheaper than the rather brilliant X100S. This is really quite something because we have expectations. It's a Ricoh GR. Just hope this is really going to be good.
Alright. The Sony NEX mirrorless cameras would be cheaper and you get to change lenses, but this is properly cool.
And this really could be it, because what we've had to make do with is the GRD1, which was alright, it was kind of made me excited. Didn't make me want to buy it. GRD2, which is alright, pretty much the same. GRD3, GRD4, oh forget it, they're rubbish. This tea house is famous for assassination on the menu. It's very famous. Google it, I'm not going to tell you. Well, I'll tell you then. Some guy got shot there, assassinated because he was a politician. Politicians should be shot, apparently. So I love the feel of this. I mean, it's the X100S it's a compact. It's a small camera, but it's not as small as this. I mean, look just how small this is. iPhone 5. Oh, that fits. Oh, excuse me. Is that a Ricoh RG? Is that a Ricoh GR in your pocket, or you're just really excited to see me? You could go for smaller pockets. I mean, yeah. Oh.
I don't have any pockets.
See, it fits. Therefore, it's small. Yeah. Handbag approved. Now, I could get all soppy like all the kind of Leica stuff, and oh, it's the recreation of the classic in digital, oh, boo, and play some piano music, but we're not because it's a modern classic. Well, they've done well. I mean, it's the grip is pretty similar. Got this nice rubbery grip here. Maximum grippage. And a magnesium alloy body, which is very light. Is it as light as the other film cameras, the GR film cameras? There's only one way to find out. Obviously the digital one doesn't have a viewfinder, as you can see. Cheap asses. The film ones are here. GR1V, GR1S. Famous, made famous by Dido Moriyama. Like this one, he signed it. So he made this one special as well. But despite the lack of viewfinder, they're actually quite similar in size, as you can see. Shape, everything. Well, the lens looks a little bit bigger, at least the bit surrounding the lens
It's around 1.4 inches thick, 4.6 wide and 2.5 up. A very small APS-C censored camera.
In terms of controls, it's all very samey as the other Ricohs, which is good. I mean, if you're used to one Ricoh, then you're used to them all, aren't you? If you've bought the GRD, and also if you bought the funny GXR, the screen is just as good. 1.2 million pixel, 3-inch screen. Hope you enjoyed the subtitles.
It does pack a huge amount of customization options inside though.
And you've got all these controls on the back, which are all pretty much the same. And here you've got 5 customizable functions. You press that, and you can set it to, you know, AF/MF, aspect ratio, continuous burst. You've got the exposure comp here, plus and minus. Function 1 button, customizable. Lots of customization features, and even here on the side, it says effect. Is it just one effect? No, I don't think so. But if you don't like that, you can still change that to something else. Doing some ballet there. Poppy uppy flash. Just to remind you, it is a compact. Bring you back to earth. Whoosh. And 3 customizable display modes, which I don't know how to do, but I'll find out for you. Oh look, just here. Oh, it's like a bloody survey. Graphic display. Yes please. Information display. Yes please. I mean, this really is a camera made for geeks, which is why Locke had the GRD himself. The crap ones, not this one. So, makes sense. Yeah. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute.
Although it is pro DSLR-like on the customization, it is no pro in terms of the performance specs.
I mean, look, this isn't like some high-performance monster. The burst rate is 4 FPS, which is pretty laughable considering Sony NEX cameras do more than twice that. And the fastest shutter speed is 4 thousandths of a second, which is alright, but not brilliant. The thing is though, with that faster shutter speed, even that isn't necessarily a faster shutter speed. That maximum shutter speed is only available after f5.6 or slower. Makes sense, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't make sense, because you want the fastest shutter speed when you're wide open. Now, you do have an ND filter built in. Okay, I've set it in the menu. That is quite a stealthy camera, and it's quick. You street thugs really love this camera. You can also, for ultra quickness, you can have it on snap focus. What does that mean? I'll show you. Scale focusing would be bloody hard on this. There's no scale on it. Oh, she's in a hurry. See ya. There's no scale on it, so you can't scale focus. But what you've got is snap focus. And what that means is that you can just set it in that customizable function menu. And bang, it's set to that distance. See, that's on autofocus. Snap. Oh, there you go. Instant photo taking. I mean, in terms of stealthiness and quickness, you've got it all here. Wonky shot, but wonky by name, wonky by nature. Now, for all you people who don't want to get right there in the meat, your face in the meat, and for all you people who say, oh no, that's not a proper street photography camera, apart from apart from Winograd, he uses 28mm, doesn't he? But if you don't like that and you want 35, there's a quad mode. But I don't want that. The best thing, I am shooting RAW here, so all these lovely files you're seeing are in Technicolor RAW file. Not only that, DNG, that's why I can shoot RAW with this. Don't need to convert it. Well, I do need to convert it, but it's pretty close to universal DNG.
In terms of image quality, the lack of an AA filter means you get some superb looking files. Crispness, even Pringles will be jealous of. Noise performance is decent enough. ISO 3200 images are still very usable for personal enjoyment. Slightly noticeable noise that gets a little distracting towards ISO 6400 though. Anything upwards and towards the maximum of ISO 25600 are not too usable. Not at all.
Sometimes when you try to create them, sometimes when you try to recreate classics, it doesn't work, and in some ways it's going to be a little bit different, but I can't help like this camera. It's pretty fantastic.
There really is so much to love about this camera from the point of view of someone who likes to take photos on the street. It's small, stealthy and slick. Alright, it sometimes can get the focus a bit wrong when you stick it on the multi-AF, and the almost over thought out controls might not be to your taste, but one has to appreciate the lack of pretentiousness and how it just does its job well. The fact that it's not a 35mm sized format doesn't matter because it still keeps much of the spirit of the old film GRs alive. This could be a modern classic, but that is if the people choose to buy this instead of a number of other good APS-C censored compacts out there.